start?
Yes, anytime.
Okay, so how many of you have seen Space Jam? Alright, so the majority of you. I don't know about you guys, but when I first watched Space Jam, like that was like my introduction to Michael Jordan, and I just idolized him. I just thought, like he was the greatest of all time, like, most statements say. So, when this past year, the Spurs won the NBA championship, and, the Heat won, that's right. Anyway, so there's been a lot of controversy of LeBron and Jordan being compared side by side. So most people's first thing is, thought is, you know what, no, like you can't compare him to the greatest of all time. And I think that it kind of blinds us from seeing like the actual facts, because we have like this whole big image of like Michael Jordan of being like the greatest. So then when being compared to someone that we now see playing, it's kind of like hard. So my major claim today is that LeBron James is better now than Michael Jordan was then. And before you guys start shaking your heads at me, just let me go through my points. So my first point is that LeBron has won more titles at age 28 than Jordan has. He has 4 MVPs, while Jordan had only 2 MVPs at the age of 28. LeBron has been NBA champ twice, while Jordan was only once when he was 28. And LeBron also has 2 Finals MVP, while Jordan only had 1. So that already puts LeBron at an advantage, at the age of 28. My second point is that LeBron is playing with the disadvantage of being under pressure. He started off right after high school. He entered the NBA right after high school, so which was 3 years before Jordan. Which already puts like higher standards on LeBron, because he has more experience than Jordan does. So that's already pressure for him. And playing under pressure is usually not a great thing. And LeBron also won his second ring at 28, while Jordan won it at 29, so he was a year younger. So he's playing under pressure, and he's still doing better. And he's also being compared to the greatest of all time. Like, who wouldn't feel under pressure then? And my last one is social media and cyberbullying. Jordan didn't have to go through that. One of the articles in Vogue, featured in Vogue, actually spoke out on that. And it said, "Gone are the days when celebrities are protected from the harsh realities of life by their handlers and publicists who monitored all forms of communication between their star clients and the public." And LeBron actually spoke out too. He retweeted a couple of racist tweets and actually spoke out and said he did it to see what type of words that are said toward me and towards us as professional athletes. So you can see that it affects him, that what people are saying. It's hard to, cyberbullying has been a big thing lately, and it's hard for someone to see all these hate comments and still have to get on, good on and play a good game, So he's already at an advantage then. He's still doing better, and he's under pressure. And my last point is that LeBron is already more accomplished than Jordan. He has 19 playoff series wins, and he has a second ring, whereas Jordan only had 13 playoff series wins at the time of his second ring. And he's also LeBron is 9-time All-Star, whereas Jordan was 8-time All-Star at the time of the second ring too. And also a poll conducted on Sports Nation. I actually interned at Sports Nation this past summer, and this is when it was like all happening. And they conducted a poll to see like who was better, and most people obviously said Jordan. But when there's this show called Numbers Never Lie, when they were shown like this video of Numbers Never Lie, people actually like switched their vote to LeBron. So the poll's already also saying that LeBron is better now than Jordan was then. So that's it.
seek your attention. LeBron James never makes baseball and not as. LeBron James never defended the world from a meeting.
Okay.
Is that better? LeBron James never knew Bugs Bunny. Oh, and
I don't know why that one.
Bill Murray. Bill Murray's great in the movie.
I haven't seen it since I was
Right, you go back and watch it. Michael Jordan's so terrible in the movie, like acting wise, like he's so awful. Oh yeah, I still love that movie.
like 2 years ago. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's a terrible actor, but it's a great movie. I mean, I think that the fact that he's like most of the acting is by Bugs Bunny and all the Looney Tunes, it kind of makes up for his terrible acting.
Maybe that's why I was terrible. You know it's a good
Yeah, that's like the biggest.
Yeah, wait a second. Maybe that wasn't true.
Jenny, I needed to get your outlines.
That's right.
You have just one?
You need two?
Are you new?
No, no.
Do you remember why I needed two?
Yeah, but I had you last semester and you didn't. I just wanted to
Well, this is different, you know, because somebody's supposed to do a refutation of your
Okay,
speech.
I can print it out and give it to you.
Well, I
I can email it to you.
that doesn't help well, I need to pass it out to somebody in case they didn't get an outline to respond to. Is there anybody who's in that situation that doesn't have an outline to respond to?
I don't have an outline to respond to. Do you want me to
Then
respond?
kick your own ass.
I want to respond so bad to that.
That would be so funny.
I have a double one.
I have a repeated one.
Okay, well, have you started working on the other one? Why don't you take this one and give her the one that you have?
Okay.
All right, and you can trade. All right, Jenny, I think you have a value claim, not an issue of fact, because when you talk about the best, that really sounds like it's a judgment that's going to be based on some aesthetic quality, and you need to define what the aesthetic quality is. Now, I think you actually do a pretty good job trying to give us a criteria that is defensible, arguing that at a particular point in their careers, at a certain age, that they have slightly different accomplishments that would favor LeBron. So I thought that was a pretty good way of trying to come up with a criteria for that value that's going on there. But remember, it's supposed to be a claim of fact. I think you could argue, for instance, that LeBron is statistically superior to Jordan at this point in their careers, and that would have made it a clearer claim of fact. There's not really a layout of what the supporting structure is going to be, although you did signpost it pretty well as you got to the individual points. But I think it would help the audience if you previewed a little bit more. And having taken the public speaking class and having harangued you about doing previews earlier, you should not be skipping having a preview of the supporting structure of your speech. That should just be a given. The evidence that you had, look, you've got a whole bunch of factual data. And I don't doubt that it's accurate, but we're not really getting a lot of sourcing on that. I don't, like I said, they're factual data. I don't expect there to be a lot of controversy on some of those things. But you could tell us where you found that information in general. I did like the quote that you had at the one point. And you've got a little bit of an example, but it's really more of kind of a passive piece of testimony when you talk about the people changing their minds when they see the statistics. So I think you needed to be a little bit stronger about, not that the information that you had was bad, but about citing it and looking for other information rather than just the two comparisons. I also thought from a reasoning point of view, it is a little bit problematic because you try to use the idea that LeBron started younger as something that would measure him more favorably because he faced adversity at a younger age and all those kinds of things. On the other hand, he got a 3-year jump or 3-year jump on Jordan. So it wouldn't be a surprise by age 28 if he's supposed to be so good that he would have the same number of rings or the same amount of accomplishments, because he had 3 years on Jordan, who spent, the extra time going to college and, winning an NCAA championship as well. So it's the idea that there's something that helps you there, it also cuts in the opposite direction a little bit. Okay, thank you.